Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age 2. Last we left off, we were in Darktown, the major Undercity. The Deventer Imperium. Interesting. This is where people do no longer get sunlight. All they can see are the chains, and the smoke, and the fog, and a haze of poisonous air fills this area. This is where the Ferelden refugees have been forced to hide themselves. All this time. And because I like making special saves, I'm sure absolutely none of you are surprised. What was that?
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Well, we may as well reassure him I mean no harm.
I'm just here to talk.
We're interested in getting into the deep roads. Rumor has it you were a warden. Do you know a way?
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat.
What?
Or Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
No!
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot in the deep roads.
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a Genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
And yes, he is voiced by someone different in this game, but make no mistake, this is the Anders that we know and love from Awakening.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes, I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
Some reasons of your own, you say? But I thought it was kind of...
I've always heard that joining the wardens is for life.
Yeah.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out, if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
And while his sense of humor is a bit subdued, it's obviously still there. But let's see if we can get his help.
I'm part of an expedition into the deep roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted deep roads again.
I'm with you on that.
You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested, although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Absolutely.
Help my expedition reach the deep roads, and I'll do whatever you need.
You don't ask for my terms. What if I were asking for the Knight Commander's head on a spike?
Is that what you ask?
You decide.
Huh.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area, but there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend, a mage, a prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
Well, but how did the Templars...
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
That doesn't sound encouraging. How did they find out? Did I just ask this one?
What do the Templars
okay,
know?
Then the letters stopped coming.
Short-term memory is short! Anyway, help him escape the circle.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything. It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
I agree.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
That's not usually the response I get. Perhaps we will work together better than I expected.
It appears as though his old hatred of the Templar rule is still in place. But
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Karl Thekla. He was sent here from Ferelden when Kirkwall's circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cell, refused appearances at court, made tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
that doesn't sound good at all.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
That doesn't sound good. Do you have a plan on this?
How do you plan to break him out of the gallows?
I'm hoping it won't come to that. I sent Karl a message to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Maker willing, he'll be there, alone. But if there are Templars with him, I swear I'll free him from them, whatever the cost.
Well, he's determined, but I'm certainly going to help him. At the very least, for sentimental reasons, even though this character doesn't know him. I do.
I would help any mage in such circumstances. Map or no.
Better make this good. We're risking a lot if we anger the Templars.
I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Karl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free.
Card roll, rivalry, +5. But worry not. Your friends, your companions, will not abandon you. And you can click on...
Karl won't be able to get away until it's dark. Meet me at the Chantry at nightfall.
But sadly, you will not be able to get much more conversation out of them. And history of Kirkwall, yeah. Background information, very useful. So if you play through this game, I do recommend reading the codexes. Or you can actually go to the Dragon Age wiki online, and they should have all of the codexes listed there. Codices. Anyway, this is rather a convenient place for us to meet Anders.
This looks like the place. If the cellars go this far, maybe we were important.
Because the Amell estate cellar is right here. Rather convenient, no? Generally speaking, the old rule about wanting to have a rogue in your party at all times stands, especially in situations like this. Ah. Oops. Enjoy your fireball. Because there are some chests in here that will need unlocking. This is also a good chance to loot things from our own cellar, at least what used to be our old cellar. And maybe will be again, if this works out. Can't go up that door. Or up those stairs through that door. Ah, this will work. Oh, and I froze him right in his tracks. Oh, jeez. Well, that went pretty quickly. And Varric's just good to have in your party anyway. Tobias's documents.
By all means, lead on.
I am, Carver.
That's the Amell crest, I think. Mother described it once. Put that above your door and you better have the ties to back it up. Otherwise you just look old.
It's truly sad what happened to the Amells, isn't it? I still remember Grandmother talking about the balls that Lord Aristide used to hold at their estate, and then to even violin players and dancers from Afsana. No expense was spared, and no one would dare miss it, lest someone think they weren't worthy of an invitation. And then poor Revka had the child. Magical talent, running in one of Kirkwall's most prominent families. The Templars had considered Lord Aristide to be Viscount after Threnhold's arrest. Can you imagine the scandal had he been chosen? They whisked the child away to the Circle, and the Amells simply had no luck after that. Leandra ran off with a Ferelden mage, and then Damien was accused of smuggling. Poor Lord Faustin almost got bankrupted his family trying to get the charges dropped, but I hear Viscount Marlowe simply wanted the Amells out of the picture. And it worked, too, didn't it? By the time Lord Faustin got sick, there was only young Gamlen left, and a mountain of debt. I spoke to Dulcie just the other day, and apparently Gamlen is now living in some low-town shack. Sounds like the sort of character you'd cross the street to avoid, and let's not even talk about the estate. Mother says we should remember the Amells, because that sort of thing could happen to any of us. You know the old saying, a marcher's fortune rises and falls with the tide. If you ask me, this is just another misfortune that magic brings to honest folk. Andraste helped that poor family, whatever lies in store for them. Well, and a little bit of background as to how Amell ended up in the Circle, the Ferelden Circle Tower.
Let's make this...
Enjoy your fireball. And enjoy freezing to death. Oh. Why did you have to disappear before I could freeze you? That's not fair, and you stabbed my friend? I don't think so. You do not stab Aveline. By course, just... you don't.
Follow my...
Ah. And... yeah, you really just don't need to screw with Hawk or her companions. That's just an unnecessary thing. And the history of Kirkwall, Chapter 2. Most of these just talk about how Viscount Dumar came into power. Basically, they crossed the Templars, and people sided with the Templars.
Someone's left us.
This is why you want to have a rogue in your party, by the way. This is a trap. You need a rogue in your party in order to disable them.
Get ready!
Oops. And now that he's put up his barrier, we can't really affect him. And I hope you like freezing. Because that takes care of that.
Get back! How about you?
And... you're basically down. Down for the count. For good. Master Slaver has the vault key. And here is a chest, and another example
Mind
of
if I try my hand at that?
why you need Beric along.
Cake.
Because you only get this one chance, I believe, to... History of the Circle. Summary, basically, they created the Circle because the mages were, in fact, being extremely discriminated against, and they wanted to have a
That
place
has to
where
be the vault.
Thank you.
If there's anything to learn about the family, that's where it is.
So they came together, holed up in the Chantry, until they were given the right to gather together with Templar supervision. That's how the Circle started. It has since become a very different thing. And Grandfather Amell's will and testament.
So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
Yes, let's go back now.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
And that is one of those instant teleport things.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality.
What?
It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
We found the will.
Yeah. Ooh, that cringe.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her. The estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
So that estate never belonged to Gamlen in the first place.
We have a home, Mother. A real home.
They forgave me. Mother forgave me. But, Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I do like the "did you even wait 1 minute" response, but it's true, he has a point.
If it wasn't for the blight, would we ever have come back here?
I always thought I would. But I suppose you three are Ferelden to your toes.
Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
And that's why she's the favorite. And actually, you do find out, depending on your dialogue options, that not only did they leave the estate purely to Leandra, but that Gamlen was only supposed to get a stipend as chosen by Leandra.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
Can we move there now?
The estate is yours. Why are we still here?
Technically, the house is now property of the Viscount, since its owner died without an heir. If we went there now, we would just be squatters. But if the Viscount acknowledges our rights, we can get back more than the house. We can get back our name.
That sounds good. And your mother never hated you.
Grandmother didn't want you to leave. She tried holding on to you the only way she knew.
She would have been so proud of you. You're everything she wanted in an Amell grandchild.
Aww.
She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
I miss her too.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
Blame the Darkspawn, not yourself.
The Darkspawn would have been happy with any prey. It was my fault it was Bethany. I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for
That
after
quickly?
Bartram's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.
Well, she's just beating herself up over that. Puppy? Aw. Sleep well.
I'll let you sleep.
Yay, puppy! Alright. And Gamlen.
So, what? Are you here to gloat?
Yes.
Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
Oh, tell me more about her.
What was she like? As a girl?
We're only a year apart. But that was time enough for Leandra to get our parents wrapped firmly around her little finger. They showed her off at every opportunity. The beauty, the scholar, the light of their lives. As far as they were concerned, they should have stopped there.
Sounds like you have a jealousy problem.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
Yeah. Well, let's be diplomatic about this. Everyone is human, after all, except for the elves and dwarves, and Kunari.
I'm sure you did your best.
Don't butter me up, sweetie. I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love. But at least I got the money.
Ouch. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of time for this installment of Let's Play Dragon Age 2. Hope to see you next time, where we will probably be going to help Anders at the Chantry at night. Hope to see you then, folks.